Hello, I'm John White. Today we have Lois Pierce with us, and Lois, you have a sample for me.
That's right, a Manzanita. And although it's not going to get little apples, my question for you is are these little nubs right here aerial roots where I can start another little tree from it? Because I understand this isn't going to do very well here in Las Cruces.
Okay, Manzanita is one of my favorite plants because it has such pretty bark on it. You can see it has the what we call exfoliating bark, where it has the bark that peels on it and leaves a real smooth bark in between. Sometimes it's reddish in color. This particular plant doesn't look like it's doing real well. It's got this branch that the leaves are crisp out on the ends, look like it might have died back. What you think is aerial roots is actually, I think, some aerified mites that have gotten in some wounded areas and are causing some irregular growth in there. As far as this particular bush, I would probably clip that off and get rid of that damaged area. But Manzanitas are difficult to transplant. They're difficult to grow because they are very particular about their water needs. And since it's been such a hot, dry year, this plant really likes to grow in a little bit higher elevation. So it is going to have a difficult time here with this hot summer.
I'll keep on trying.
Oh.
This is a sample of a red bud with some holes in the leaves and different colors in different part of the leaves. And the owner was very concerned about a marking in this branch, but that marking's not in this branch. What do you think?
Okay. Redbuds are one of my favorite spring flowering trees. They have a gorgeous pink flower on them, just beautiful. There is a variety of redbud called the Mexican redbud that does much better in the southern part of the state. Other redbuds we do towards the end of the year see a lot of leaf burn on the edges of the leaves. This looks like a lot of wind damage. We have had some high winds this year, so a lot of that ragged edges on the leaves are due to high winds. Now, as far as the marking on the ends, this is a natural woody pith area that's starting to form on it. So this is just older wood and this is younger wood, and that's why that has that little pith in it. It's nothing to worry about. The plant looks pretty good, other than, I mean, the little holes are from a shot hole virus that hits these particular species of plants. They don't do any harm to the tree. They won't kill the tree. They just cause some aesthetic problems with the holes in the leaves, but it's really not worthwhile trying to treat. So really the tree is in pretty good shape considering everything.
Well, I'll make the neighbor happy. This is an example of a Viburnum with lots of different problems that I thought would be interesting to people.
Okay. The Viburnum here does have some leaf scorch on it. That's due to the heat and the intense sunlight. It may have gotten a little bit on the dry side at one time. There's a lot of leaf curl on it, which could be an indication it might have had some aphids on it early in the spring that caused some distortion, or maybe thrips, something like that, that could have got on it and caused the leaf curl. Some of the stuff that's coming out since then still looks pretty good, so you know, just kind of watch. This is an older leaf, so it's going to fall off as it puts on new ones. So some of these that are damaged are going to fall off. So Viburnum, other than this top part here and a little bit of burn on those older leaves, I think it's going to be okay. It'll grow out of it. So
it's not as unhealthy as it looks?
Right. It just looks a little rough right here going into summer, but it should pop back out.
Well, thank you, John. This is a healthy Buckeye plant, and we're wondering if these fruits are edible.
Okay, this is a Mexican Buckeye, and it is a very nice plant to use in landscapes here in New Mexico. It can be grown as a small tree or a large shrub. It does have the three-lobed fruit. It has a shiny black seed inside it. When they're dry, you can kind of hear them rattle, and they'll break open and the seed will fall out. The seed does have a toxin associated with it, so I wouldn't use it for edible reasons, and it is a little bit hard to propagate because it's not real easy to germinate the seed, so you need to scarify the seed either with a file or some sandpaper, get it to where it'll take on some water, and then it'll start on its own. But it is a very nice tree for the southern part of the state, so excellent choice.
This is an example of a dried, shriveled cactus leaf, and I was wondering if these little cottony looking parts are a problem, or is it just a natural feature of this cactus?
Okay. These are just a natural feature of the cactus. They're called areoles, and they are common on cacti of different types. The prickly pear here is just dried up. It probably looks like a lot of people feel in the heat here. It just needs more water. We've been very, very dry in the southern part of the state, and even the cacti are drying up, so a little bit of water will help fill this back up. But those are common on it. So again, you've brought us some interesting specimens, and Belois, thank you very much for being here and bringing the samples.